The Pipe Nook at the Tainted Tavern.
Welcome to the Tainted Tavern. Come sit inside for free.
Hello, and welcome to the Tainted Tavern. It's another pipe review for you today, and as you can see here, I'm setting up a new external microphone that I purchased. Because several people in feedback, and I love getting feedback to this channel, but several people said, you know, that the channel's shaping up nicely, the thumbnails are good, the content is good, so thank you for that. But the audio leaves a little bit to be desired. Now, I'm not using a cheap camera to film these videos. I initially started using my phone, but then I went out and bought a Nikon Coolpix P1000, which cost me the best part of $1,000. It's a pretty decent camera. It's got the massive zoom lens. It's famous for being able to shoot photographs of the moon, and on a clear night you can pick up craters on the moon, so it's a good camera. But the onboard microphone, especially for videos such as this for YouTube, can leave a bit to be desired. And so I've bought this external microphone here, so hopefully the sound quality you're getting now is far superior to what you're used to. If you're watching this channel and you enjoy my videos, and you haven't done so already, then please consider subscribing to this channel, because it doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel grow, and I'd really appreciate it. And also give this video a thumbs up, leave some comments down below, let me know you're interested in what I'm doing here so we can get a dialogue going, and share this video. I'd really appreciate it if you would do that. Now today my video is a pipe related video, and although I cover a broad range of subjects here at the Tainted Tavern, everyone's welcome, I will never be far away from a pipe video. And if you go through my playlist, you will see that my pipe smoking content is far higher than any of my other content, although I've tended to lean more into a lot of classic rock reviews lately, simply because I enjoy doing it. But rest assured, if you're here for the pipe smoking videos, you'll never be too far away from a new pipe smoking video. And of course, there are so many pipe smoking videos in the archives. Go to the playlist Legacy of the Pipe and you'll be able to see so many. Now, pipe smoking. Okay, now today I'm going to be smoking Old Gowrie tobacco, which I've previously reviewed on this channel. You'll be able to find the review if you look through my playlist Legacy of the Pipe. Old Gowrie, of course, is a very famous blend, a legacy blend from Rattray's. It's a vapor, it's a broken flake. But what I wanted to talk about is the peacefulness and the relaxation and the way that pipe smoking allows you to shut out the outside world, allows you to sit in your own kingdom. I mean, what is a kingdom? It doesn't have to be expensive, full of wealth. A kingdom can be your garden shed, you know, your little seat in the living room here. Anywhere you want can be your kingdom. And that to me is one of the interesting and perhaps one of the better aspects of pipe smoking, because when you've got your pipe going, and firstly I apologize, even though I'm using a new microphone, that you can hear padding every now and then. That's my old English bulldog Maddie. She will not sit still. Every time I'm doing a video, she decides she'll walk out there, she'll walk in here, she'll walk over there. So apologies in advance for the padding. And I'm also going to have to open the window a moment, because although this is my kingdom, it's also my wife's kingdom, and when she comes home, if she smells any hint of pipe tobacco in the air, then she will batter me. That's what Welsh women do. So let me just get this window opened. And once I've finished sitting here in my kingdom, smoking my pipe, then I'll allow the air to clear, and I'll spray a little bit of air freshener. She won't know. I get away with this all the time. So I'm packing up my pipe here, and I'm using a Blake Mabriar here, which was a club pipe from the UK Pipe and Tobacco Club, which is a Facebook group that I've been a member of for several years, and every year they do a club pipe. This one was from, I'm trying a 2017 Blake Mabriar. It's a lovely pipe. Generally, they pick a shape. They have a poll every year for a pipe shape, and you can pick what shape you want. You know, you can vote for several shapes, such as a Zulu or a bulldog or an apple. They've had various shapes, and the pole that wins, that's the shape. So then that's the shape of this year's club pipe. But you can choose your own colours on the stem or whatever, so you do get a lot of ways, options of customization to making your pipe somewhat unique. But the fact is with Blake Mabriar, Blake makes perfect pipes. Really good chunk of briar used here. I don't know how well the camera picks up the grain in this pipe, but it's a beautiful pipe. And most importantly, of course, for any pipe, is it's a great smoker. So let's puff away on this old Gowrie, and I will give you my impressions of this tobacco, although I have done a full review, and if you're interested in that, as I say, you can go and find it on this channel. So I will give you my impressions as I go along. But what I wanted to talk about today is pipe smoking itself, the ritual of pipe smoking, the way it makes you slow down and enjoy the moment. And you are very much, while you're in that moment, within your own kingdom. You've got solitude from the rest of the world. And the modern world abhors silence. It abhors, what's the saying? Abhors a vacuum. Something will always come along to fill it. But the modern world very much abhors silence. You've got emails coming, your phone is beeping all the time, people got messages coming through to you. It's just relentless. So it's nice to sit back, fill up a bowl, and say to yourself, no, I'm in my own kingdom, I'm going to enjoy the moment. Let's get this pipe alight. Quick charring light there. And these cheap lighters, which I picked up from Lidl's or Aldi's, just cheap little lighters. I like these for a pipe because they've got a long stem there. I think they're intended for barbecues and things like that. Gas barbecues, but they've got a long stem here, which means you can get the flame inside the bowl so you don't char the outside of the bowl, which is quite important. Let's get a little tissue here. Okay, so as I say, pipe smoking is something of a ritual. It's a quiet rebellion against the hurried pace of modern life. It's a rebellion that I'm very much a part of, and most people watching this video now are also a part of it. We are quiet anarchists. And it's very much an unhurried way to sit back and think when you're puffing on your briar, sipping a nice whiskey or a cup of tea, coffee, whatever, and you're in the moment and your mind is wandering. You can think, you can sit back, and everything slows down. The world seems to stop for you. Old Gowrie is very much an old school tobacco. Traditional tobacco taste, no toppings that are evident at all. So it's smooth. I think it's very much Virginia forward on the taste, although you are getting some of that perique, peppery, spicy quality that is unique to perique tobacco. Yeah, I've been smoking a pipe for so many years now, decades. I first took up a pipe in my 20s, and I used to feel self-conscious then. I felt too young, so I would only smoke it behind closed doors in my kingdom, if you like. But as time has gone on, you know, I've seen so many changes in the pipe smoking world. Various smoking bans that became started coming to the forefront this century. I mean, when was it? 2007 we had the smoking ban in pubs, and the entire landscape suddenly changed. I don't want to knock the smoking bans in pubs, because I am partially in favour, but just partially. I believe that another way should have been implemented, that one room in the pub, like in the old days you had a lounge or a snug, one room should have been allowed for smokers, and they would have and it should have maybe been a lawful requirement of pubs, if they wanted to have a room where people could smoke, that they needed proper extractor fans and things. I think that would have been a far better option than the blanket smoking ban that they brought in. And there's even been rumblings over recent years that they're trying to stop smoking now in pub beer gardens, but thankfully that motion seems to have quietened down, and I think governments are realising that may be a step too far. I can only speak for us over here in the UK, of course. What are the smoking conditions like in your country? If anyone's watching this outside of the UK, Americans, Canadians, Australian, I've got German viewers, so what are the smoking requirements in your areas? It's an interesting subject to talk about, but I can't help feeling, and I've said this before, that the smoking ban, although as I say, I do agree that most areas, public areas such as public houses, should be smoke-free, with the exception of one room for smokers to go in. I believe that should have been implemented, and perhaps we wouldn't see so many pubs closing down as we have. But there we are where we are, and there's not much we can do about it. As I say, Old Gowrie is a very old school tobacco. It's got a very grassy Virginia quality to it. There is some pepper, particularly in the back of my throat. Now I've got that Greek pepperiness. It burns really well. It's a blend that has been around forever, and it continues to remain popular to this day. So there's got to be a reason for that, hasn't there? It also goes rather well with the whiskey. But then whatever I'm enjoying, I always treat myself at the end of the day. And these days I'm writing full-time now. Since I finished my last job, I've become full-time with my writing. I'm working on a commission for a book which I've got to deliver to my publisher by December. So every night, and most of the day, I'm sat at the computer, at the screen, composing, writing. And every day at the end of the day, I'll treat myself with a whiskey, and quite often a pipe. But I've gone off on a tangent. What I did intend to say when I was talking about the way that smoke, and there's some tobacco left in this tray here because I took too much out of the pouch. So let me just put this back in the pouch, because tobacco is quite expensive these days. But what I wanted to say is it's unfortunate the way that the anti-smoking movement are so zealous and have lumped all forms of smoking in together: cigarettes, pipes, cigars, when there's a world of difference between those three. With a pipe, by and large, you don't inhale, you don't take the smoke into your lungs. Pipe tobacco is generally a lot more purer than cigarette tobacco. There's not so many additives, so I wouldn't be foolish enough to suggest that pipe tobacco isn't bad for you and the smoke in a pipe is healthy for you. I wouldn't be so bold or stupid as to say something like that, although in some aspects pipes can have health benefits, because stress, of course, is a killer, and the pipes can help you relax. It can help you unwind. It's impossible to worry when you've got a lump of briar in your mouth and the delicious taste of tobacco caressing the taste buds within your mouth. So in that sense, it can be have health benefits in that sense. And I suppose some people do inhale pipe tobacco and they do take it down into their lungs. I really wouldn't recommend that. That's not really the way to enjoy pipe tobacco. It doesn't need to be inhaled into the lungs. You allow it to travel around your mouth, and you pick out all the nuances, all the flavors, and then you allow it to drift out, and you breathe slowly. So even someone who doesn't inhale pipe tobacco into their lungs, such as myself, you have to be honest with yourself, and some tobacco would get inhaled into your lungs, but it's minimal, and you're not getting as many toxins as you would smoking cigarettes. So to me, there's a world of difference between pipe tobaccos and cigarettes. Cigars also, by and large, you don't inhale cigars. Again, it's an experience of allowing the smoke. It's about slowing down. It's about enjoying the moment. But I just feel a pipe is even more so in that sense. I'm doing a lot of relights here, but I'm talking a lot, so that's why the pipe tends to go out. I don't want to give the impression that this old Gowrie doesn't burn well and doesn't hold a flame well, because it does. But as I say, here I am, sat in my own kingdom, enjoying the pipe, enjoying the moment. Grassy ale-like qualities of the Virginia is definitely the prominent factor in this tobacco. But that spicy perique pepperiness is in the back of my throat. You know, and I do sometimes. Dog wants to go out. Bear with me 1 minute, please. Very, very nice tobacco. Very, very nice indeed. Oh, viewers who are regular viewers to my channel, are you noticing this improvement on the audio? I was very conscious of that when people were saying, you know, that the audio is not all it is not all it could be. I use background sound in this because this is the Tainted Tavern, and you're in the tavern, so I've got background noise of all these people, 800 plus subscribers at the moment, that are sat around you drinking their drinks, their virtual drinks, the virtual people. So I've got the background noise of that, and it can be distracting from the audio, the main audio, i.e. my voice, if it's not coming to you well. So I hope there is an improvement, and that this video is more enjoyable because of that. The microphone didn't cost me much. It was a £30 investment. It plugs straight into the camera, and it's got a long lead, something like 20 foot, so you know, I've got quite freedom of movement, and it's hooked here on my lapel. So yeah, let me know, how is the sound better? Is it noticeably different? Just take a sip of my whiskey. And that's another thing, particularly with blends such as these, English blends, vapors, Oriental blends. Drinking something like whiskey, which is quite a strong taste in itself, they do merge together, and the whiskey doesn't it doesn't blind your taste buds to the taste of the pipe tobacco. I don't know how much of the padding is picking up, but the dog's very restless. She wants to go out again. I've really got a trainer that when I'm recording she shouldn't go out, so excuse me one momento again. Maddie, you are a nuisance. Here I am in my kingdom, trying to demonstrate how smoking a pipe is such an enjoyable, relaxing activity that takes away the stresses of the world. And I'm stressed out because my bulldog wants to go in, she wants to go out. It's almost as if she says to me, open the door, I want to let me out so I can ask to come back in again. As you can see now, I've gone down into the bowl of this tobacco. It's holding the light really well now. Gentle puff on it, and it brings it back. But a lot of that is also due to the quality of the pipe itself. These Blake Mebrias, they're really well made. They're really well drilled, and they're just a pleasure to smoke. Anyone on YouTube, you don't have to, who uses social media such as Facebook, you don't have to be in the UK to join the UK Pipe and Tobacco Club. We've got members all over the world, and it's a great community, you know, the way people help each other and they talk about each other, and especially newcomers to pipe smoking. They can get a lot of advice from seasoned smokers. So if you're on Facebook and you're not a member, then I'd urge you to join. Search out UK Pipe and Tobacco Community, but search it out by its initials, so it's UKPTC. It was once down as the United Kingdom Pipe and Tobacco Society, but or club rather, but I think they were worried about YouTube, Facebook taking down such groups because they dared to have the dreaded word smoking in the title. So now you can find it as UKPTC, and it's well worth joining. I'm not active as much on there as myself these days as I used to be, but I do pop on there at least once a week and take a look at what's happening, and I've made some great friends on there. It's well worth joining. Because even though when you're smoking your pipe, you want to relax and you want to be in your own kingdom, you want to shut out the outside world, it's nice to have a bit of companionship, isn't it? To chat to like-minded people, talk about different tobaccos, different pipes. It's that community. It's similar to the YouTube pipe community, you know, it's such a friendly community. I should have gone back maybe and watched my previous review of this old Gowrie tobacco, because I hope what I say now is not going to contradict what I said then. I doubt it very much, because the taste on this is very distinctively Virginia's. You've got that grassiness, that hay, like that summer meadow quality, but you've also got that Perique pepperiness at the very back on the finish, if you like. It's very, very enjoyable. So that's it, old Gowrie from Rattray. Blake McBriar, and a little chat about the comfort, the warmth, the relaxation of pipe tobacco and the good pipe provides. Because every man or woman needs their own kingdom. Not somewhere grand, not somewhere expensive, not somewhere jewel encrusted, just somewhere to retire to and shut out the outside world. To ignore the noise and the bluster of humanity and just sit back and enjoy a moment of peace, of reflection, to live, to paraphrase a famous advert, to live in peace with your pipe. So thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do so. That is the biggest thing for me. If you subscribe, it'll help my subscriber base grow. I'm hoping to hit that magic 1,000 mark by the end of this year, and please leave a comment down below. It's always nice to engage. And so for now, I'll leave you with these words: keep puffing, keep your pipe lit and your glass filled. Cheers, Yaki Da. Thanks for watching The Tainted Tavern, and please come back soon.
Tired of the noise? The endless rush? It's time to find your own kingdom.
Come back soon.